I'd like to introduce our short speaker for our luncheon. Her name is Elizabeth Lundberg. She helps us at Green Square Center with our food. She actually prepares some healthy foods for us for our events and for individual practitioners who want healthy lunches in their offices. She's a holistic health coach and a local food advocate, and she's going to have a few words to share with everyone here. So please give a round of applause to Elizabeth Lundberg.
Hello everyone, welcome. I am so excited to be here with you today, especially during a wonderful, super nutritious lunch that's provided by the Country Springs Hotel. I invite you to take a moment to center yourselves, to take a deep breath and offer gratitude for the meal that is in front of you. Like what Dr. Pakel was saying, pass on that good energy, the energy that's in this room today. It's a great way to calm your digestive system and to receive all the benefits of this organic, non-GMO, delicious meal. We have a great example of a well-balanced meal. Lots of veggies, we have protein. You guys get to try the quinoa if you've never had that before. It's an ancient grain that's a complete protein. And not to mention bread, there will be bread. And it's gluten-free, so you can eat it. So how many people wish that they could eat this way all the time? And I realize it's not completely in front of you, but as you have this food being served to you, that's prepared for you, that you don't have to think about, you don't have to cook it, you don't have to clean it, you don't have to do any of that. Right? Healthy, non-GMO. How easy would life be if we didn't have to think of the food? Well, the good news is that's exactly what our new business does. We are all about preparing and delivering healthy gourmet meals, but I'll talk more on that later. Right now, I want to take this opportunity to actually be real with you. We've heard from some amazing doctors this morning, and they all have very important messages about our food and how it affects our body and our minds and our overall health and happiness, not to mention how it affects our environment. There's nothing more true or powerful than using food as our medicine, using real food to allow our magnificent bodies to heal and our minds to be clear, focused, and present. But let's get real. We all know we should be eating healthier, right? But that gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, organic, anti-inflammatory, alkalizing, low-carb, high-protein, locally sourced ingredients, made from scratch, prepared with love kind of food isn't always real. I loved what that person said about all the different things at the supermarket, because, we've all been there. And so we all try practicing eating real, and sometimes for like the entire day or possibly the whole week, we're on that health food wagon, right? Because this time it's going to be different. This time we're on that right path to just eating healthy. But then something always happens, and we fall off. Because we're too tired and there's too much work, and we're schlepping our kids from one activity to another, and now it's super dark and it's cold and we have less energy, and so we say, forget it. Culver's it is. We've all been there. Even in this room, I know we've all been there multiple times. And then we feel bad or not capable or ashamed that we had that fast food or that frozen entree or that soup from the can that says, good. And now we don't even know what's in the can and we know that's not good. And we know better, but we do it anyway. And we know better because it's not organic or there are GMOs. And honestly, we're not even sure if it's real food. But it served a purpose, right? It served a purpose that it was substance in our stomach. And that's what's real. So in being real, I'll be the first to admit that as a certified holistic health coach, and someone who prepares super healthy gourmet meals for others, that a cheeseburger is my favorite food. And a Culver's cheeseburger. And I'm not working for Culver's. Even though they really know what they're doing with that butter, those butter burgers. And in being real, even though I'm second guessing this after hearing Dr. Schwartz, even that once in a while cheeseburger is still not good for you. but I'll have to think on that a little bit more. So I indulge in a cheeseburger from time to time, and that's about as far from gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, non-GMO, organic, anti-inflammatory, alkalizing, low-carb, high-protein, locally sourced, made from scratch, prepared with love. Totally far from that. So how do I have the guts to admit that up in front, here in front of all you, with all these doctors and professionals and medical people? Because it's what's real for me. What also is real for me is that I start my day, most days, with eggs and vegetables. I eat a lot of kale, a lot of leafy greens. I drink a lot of water. I buy local and organic as much as I can. So do you notice how I say most of the time, not all the time, or as much as I can? It's not the only way. Because being real about food and food choices is owning where you're at and accepting that it's not going to be perfect. And it won't be perfect. Because even when you think everything is perfect and you're on that straight road and you're really excited about using that new superfood that you just bought at the dairy that you thought this, or bought at the market that you thought that this is it, there's going to be a report that comes out that says, ooh, that superfood is actually toxic, or it's not sustainable, or gosh darn it, it's contaminated with gluten. So how many of you have prepared a new recipe using tofu because you think that's the healthier option? And then you have a friend say, I heard that soy isn't good for you. And now you're thinking, your heart just sinks and you want to throw in the towel. And now how many people are thinking, God, is soy bad for you? Or what the heck is tofu? I know there's a couple. So how do we stay real about our food and using it as thy medicine when there's so much mismatched information out there and the process of what we think we should be doing overwhelms us? I heard once that what we know about nutrition today is similar to what they knew about surgery in the 1600s. And have you ever seen the diet and wellness, section at any of your bookstores? No wonder there's so much confusion. So how do we stay real about our food choices when maybe what we know we're so confused about? We're so confused about what healthy actually is. Because you can eat gluten-free or soy-free. It can be non-GMO. It can be anti-inflammatory and organic and alkalizing and low-carb. It can be locally sourced from that one farm in the dead of winter in the middle of Wisconsin and made from scratch and prepared with love. But you're going to find an article or a professional, or there's going to be some sort of infomercial saying that new science has proven that it's not the healthiest way. So today I invite you to think about what's real for you. Where are you on your health journey? Maybe for some of you it's important to eat very well or avoid certain foods because of a medical condition. Or maybe you already eat healthfully because you have experienced how good it makes you feel. Or maybe you're just learning about the benefits of healthy food, and that's why you're here, to learn more. Isn't that why we're all here? To learn? Wherever you are, I invite you to take a breath, to relax and honor yourselves for being here today. Because no matter where you are on your health journey, showing up here today is a huge commitment to furthering your education and your awareness around food. And it's the awareness that is the first step to using food as thy medicine. So again, how can we be real with ourselves, especially during the holiday season? It's going to look different for each of us, and I encourage you to find what works for you. Because maybe just focusing on reducing the gluten in our life is what's going to be real and easy right now. Or maybe purchasing, buying more of that organic non-GMO. Because maybe you're not ready to change all the food choices in your life, but maybe you're ready or willing to pay the few extra dollars for quality food. Because let me tell you, organic potato chips taste just as good, if not better, than those Lay's. But maybe instead of the potato chips, because again, we just learned that like a pound of potato chips is like 2 billion calories compared to, our kale. Maybe we can switch those organic potato chips into some kale chips. We can add more greens into our diet. We can add more vegetables. We could add just drinking more water. Or possibly, through this holiday season, maybe the minimal that we can do is offer a moment of gratitude for whatever food product you are about to eat. Because by being present to our food, good or bad, our system relaxes. And it can properly digest and receive the benefits of the food versus feeling stressed because you don't think you should be eating that. Dr. Pickle gave a lot of also stress-reducing activities and things, and putting that good energy into that food is so important. So let's own it. Let's embrace it. Because if you're going to eat that Culver's cheeseburger or that extra piece of pumpkin pie or the 48th Christmas cookie this holiday season, it's better to be received with love than with shame or guilt. So I encourage you to think about what's real for you, knowing that little by little you will be adding in these healthy foods, and that you're taking steps to reduce and crowd out what isn't healthy in your lives. Honor yourselves for becoming more aware and for taking these steps and furthering your health journey. And trust that someday these lofty goals of all these things we know we should do, of all these clean foods that we know we can be eating, will just be the norm for you. And then you can put your focus on finding time to learn things like meditation. So now remember at the beginning when we're talking about this great meal, I know that some of you actually have it in front of you, and you're thinking, yes, how wonderful it would be to eat like this all the time, and how amazing it would be to have somebody prepare it and cook it and clean up for you. And remember how I said that's exactly what our new business does? So now I get to tell you a little bit more about that, just because by sharing about our business with you, we get to hear from you, and that's what we really want. We want to hear from you. So I'm very happy to be partnered with a fantastic local chef. So this is something I'm expanding outside of my health coaching, because one of the things that when talking to people, and even though how much education you can have about this food, it always comes down to actually having to do it, to prepare it, to cook it, to clean it, to go to the shopping, to figure out what that's going to look like for you. So we're entering into a partnership to create a business in which we're making that easier for you. So most of what we are doing is actually going to be preparing and delivering super healthy gourmet meals that are conveniently delivered to you, to your home, to your office, to your central location. What we're going to do is gluten-free. It's going to be soy-free and dairy-free and non-GMO and organic and anti-inflammatory. It will be alkalizing, low-carb and high-protein. We are going to locally source our ingredients as much as possible and use as much organic. It's going to be made from scratch, and the food that we prepare will definitely be prepared with love. We want to provide this service because we want you to be able to eat the food that you know is good for you and makes you feel good, and not have that stress and that hassle of doing it all yourself. So imagine having this lunch that you have right in front of you, this great balance of vegetables and proteins and whole grains. Imagine having something like this delivered to you a couple times a week. Or having some salads, hearty salads, or different entrees that are delivered to you as a base for your week. Because that's what we want. We want to be able to help assist you in that process, not take it over. But as you're empowering yourselves to cook more and be more aware around food, this is an opportunity for healthy add-ins. We're excited about the health aspect of what we're offering, but also doing what's right for our earth and our environment. So by minimizing our waste and using recyclable containers and being conscious around that, that's really important values into our business. So our goal is to officially launch in spring of 2014. And I keep saying the business, we don't have a name yet. That's been one of those things. So if anybody has, experience with naming businesses, come see me. Our goal is to, like I said, officially launch this spring, and it gives us time to hear from you. We want to know what would make life easier for you. What would help in your health journey? We'll be offering tastings and reaching out to the community, especially the integrative health community. Because really it's about working together. It's about further educating ourselves, and it's about supporting each other in that process. So I invite you to come talk to me afterwards, or you can go onto my website, because just for right now we're using ElizabethLundberg.com. There's an opportunity for you to click on a link, fill out your information so that we can connect with you and we can tell you more about our business as we're getting things rolling. We want to connect with you and include you in this process because it's a service that will help transform you and your health and hopefully have that ripple effect into your family and into your friends and your neighbors. Because as Dr. Peckel said, if we're all living our passion, we will all benefit from living our passion. And my hope and Cassie's hope is for us to be living our passion by providing this service so that you can go out there, you don't have to worry about the food, and be who you're meant to be. So in closing, I invite you to own what's real for you. Own what's real for you in this health journey, in this time in your life. To give yourself credit for being here today. There are incredible, amazing speakers this afternoon. Be in awe of the information that they're sharing. Take notes. Feel good about being a part of this awareness. And leave here today not feeling overwhelmed by all the shoulds or coulds of all this information that's coming at us, but feel empowered by the possibilities of a healthier future for all of us. Thank you very much.